Okie dokie. Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully this is coming through. Yeah, seems like it's coming through. Welcome back to another Making Music Monday, number 7. Today we're going to be looking at some samples that I already have, and we're going to try making a full kind of dancey track with. For those of you that are joining us for the first time on a Making Music Monday, it's just an opportunity to make some music, hopefully make you feel inspired to make some more music of your own if you make stuff, or just to be here to join in with the making of some music. Yeah, should be good. Looking forward to it. Let's get everything set up. One. Okay. Go to Ableton view. Okay, sweet. So we're going to be using this sample pack from my partner. She's graciously recorded a bunch of stems for me to use, and we're going to try and use them in today's Making Music Monday. We are currently in the key of D flat minor. And we got a couple of different ones. So let's start off with getting them in. Now, there was some error on exporting the main vocal. There is a bit of noise to it. However, I've already done some testing. It's not going to be too much of a worry for us. And I thought it'd be a good opportunity to kind of go in and also show potential ways that you can clean up some of this audio as well. So if I bring in this one, this is going to be our start one. Check it in here, loop that. So because I already have some pre-processing on, I'll take this off. This is it raw. So we got some background hiss, and we want to potentially try and get rid of that. So let me run that out. We're going to go on to Isotope RX. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to get the file up and ready. We're going to just quickly look at how to go through and do some cleanup. We won't make it perfect, but we'll at least get it somewhat closer to what we probably want. Go find it now. Samples on and it's voice one. Drag and drop. So here we have all of this. We can hear this background sound. So what we want to do is we want to use spectral denoise. So what this does is it allows it to learn kind of the things that are happening in the background. So we would want to take this kind of sound. We wouldn't take this because there's a breath in there. Right there. You can kind of see the peak of the there. So we don't want to include that. And then what we do is we pass it that. We click learn here. And then this is the frequency that it gets. And then what we can do is we can then click all of it and then we click render. So that means we're now going to get rid of that sound on everything, right? So now if we listen back to it. So it's a little bit more cleaned up. And I think for today's purposes, that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to look at going in, maybe doing some of the mouth clicks or things like that. Maybe I'll do a quick mouth click, mouth declick. Pops up with a little screen like this. And again, you can listen to it, do some stuff. I'm just going to click render on this whole thing. And then it's going to have gotten rid of some more of the higher clicks in it. I just realized that my desktop audio is being muted, so you've probably not heard any of this. So let me go back. This is what the original sounds like.
When they're gone and there's no other.
And then we've been in RX. So if I go back to its initial state, which you can do by going through the history here. Again, this is it in RX, so it will sound louder now just because it's in RX, but again, same background noise.
Let nobody know, a sanctuary with.
And then we've done the spectral denoising. So I can play you the bit that we taught it on. So this is what we taught it on. And again, this was where the breath was. You can hear that. So we learned it on that. Once we've applied it, this is what the audio now sounds like. Doesn't completely get rid of all of the noise, right?
When you're all alone, feel it and you know. When they're gone and there's no other.
And Ava XX, I have just realized that. So the time to me saying this to you is the delay time from, I don't know, when you sent your message to me realizing. I have now hopefully gone back and shown it. So we can hear the change in the audio there. And then we can do the mouth declicks as well. And then this is what it sounds like.
Let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover.
Yeah, great. Lovely stuff. So what I'm going to do, save the current file. Okay. I need to delete it from there. Then hopefully if I go back to... I'm probably going to have to close my whole Ableton session. You know what, let me save that. See if that gets rid of the temp files. Okay. Let me close down Ableton. Do the export. Because that should hopefully allow me to do that. So when you click save, right, so it's now saved the original to be the new one as well. I'll just get Ableton back up. So now, when we load this up, let me go back to that sample. Voice one.
When you're all alone.
And hopefully you can already hear that difference in the vocal from where we've keep dragging down to the wrong track. Popped it in.
When you're all alone.
I mean, that's also going through the vocal effect.
When you're all alone, feel it.
Definitely not as harsh as the other ones. So that's kind of how you can do it. If we have any more files pop up that we need to go in and do some more of that, I'll just quickly do that. Again, if anyone maybe joins and is interested in the process, so I can explain it again. But that's a nice, easy way of doing like some cleanup. I could potentially go through and do another spectral denoise with another sound profile, clean it through, but for all intents and purposes, I would say we don't need it because of my noise cutter is actually pretty good at reducing it. So if I bring this down.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know. When they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know. A sanctuary with no cover.
A gate works pretty well at just like getting rid of that harshness that's typically in there. So yeah, there you go. That is how you can do some quick cleanup. So this is what we're going to be using as our vocal. I'm going to take it bit by bit actually. Voice 2, yeah. So what I'll do, I'll get the vocal how I like it.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know. When they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know. A sanctuary with no cover.
Just realized that's why I'm not getting
When you're all alone, feel it and you know. When they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know. A sanctuary with no cover. When you're all alone, feel it and you know.
Okay.
When they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know. A sanctuary with no cover.
Now there's quite a lot of harsh vocals there, so I need to improve the overall gain reduction there.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other.
There's still some higher frequencies. We've got the boost there. Let me add.
When you're all alone,
I'm gonna do a 10k one, or like a 9k. See what works best.
when you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know.
Yeah, that seems about right. We'll reduce that, increase the sharpness there.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know.
It's a little more tame. It's a little more tame. We still got the presence of the vocal, but it's those harsh S's are a little bit more brought back. Now, next thing I'd do is add in a like piano type thing, but I actually want to try just building up something nice, some nice simple like sine or sawtooth waves using a Serum 2. So bring out Serum 2. Let us go into basic shape. I always forget where basic shapes are. Oh, there it is. Basic shapes. Get second off later.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know.
Let's just get some basic chords in for the time being, just so that we can start hearing it. So we know that we're in, I don't know why that's got it in the wrong key. We'll put it back into the right key. All right, let's use the tonic. I'll do it on each beat. There we go. Quite aggressive at the beginning. Create more of a pluck sound.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no.
Add some unison to this one.
When you're all alone,
Actually, let's try a sine with this.
when you're all alone,
And something that I realized that I can do, which I like the sound of. So you can see the detune there. We're in the same octave, but if I make this one like more on, it creates more of a wobble effect with the two overlapping. Let's get the blend of that nice and even. Blend of that as well.
when you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go.
Okay, that's just gonna help us get the basic foundations. I'm just gonna minus this. A bit loud for me at the moment.
When you're all alone, feel. When you're all
And then fold that down. No, not fold, scale.
when you're all alone. When you're all alone. When you're all alone.
Do, 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 do. I don't want to do a full octave.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and when you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no.
Bum, bum, bum. That's too long. So we're just working on getting these in.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other.
No, that would be different. Let's see.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other.
What did I hear?
Alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other.
I feel like what I'm actually wanting is that kind of rhythm. That's a dun, 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 and then that. Okay. That, right?
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tip.
Okay, that timing's not working in my head. What am I missing?
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other.
Actually, I think I'm feeling that. That's what I've been feeling. But how does that work in with the vocal? Because what we want to build, so we're starting off building up the harmony, right? So we have our vocal, and we want this to work with our vocal. Because as much as we could sit here and just have the like this note, that with the main melody doesn't give the same interest, right? We're trying to build the chords, that harmony. Like that feels like that should move. So does this feel like it moves correctly? That's what we're trying to figure out.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know.
I like the sound of that. Happy for some feedback as well, what other people think. Dun, dun. What I'm potentially hearing is a slightly different variation of this, where it goes like that.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover.
That doesn't sound right there. Nor did that rhythms. Let's.
Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover.
Maybe that rhythm doesn't work again. Go back to that one. Okay, well let's see what that sounds like.
Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover.
That would work for the repeat there. See if that ending works with going back up to the octave.
Let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover. When you're all alone.
Kind of does, kind of doesn't. It obviously works, like if I was to dip that, that works, right? And we could potentially say that that works, but I think we can play around with voicing with this. So the quick and easy way of making some nice chords, which you can do, well, first of all, there's one way where you just test it with like a sustained note like that. I'll get rid of this one. So if I go into my serum and make this sustain just a little longer, I'll make the release a little bit longer as well. Bring down the cutoff.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover.
easier
no
to move.
other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know. A sanctuary.
It sounds very chromatic, almost walk bass. I think like if we're using like this gives like a cool aesthetic with the
When you're all alone, feel it and you know.
pedal tone at the top.
There's no other. Tiptoe as you go.
Gives it that almost moody vibe. Let's try some chords. I also realized that I'm not in full screen anymore, so let's put that into full screen. Get the better user experience with the camera in the right place. So, classic way that I make chords is to put the third above and then add in your fifths.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know. When they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know. A sanctuary with no cover.
So then you can hear some different things. First of all, you can then play around with the voicing of the notes.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know. When you're all alone, feel it and you know. When they're gone and there's no other.
That's too high compared to that one.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know. When they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know. A sanctuary with no cover.
You know, I'm preferring the pedal tone sound that we had more than these chords. I'm going to go back to that pedal tone style. So what we did is we took the root note, put an octave above, and we had that. What I do want to try, bring that down to match that rhythm, bring this one down to match that rhythm, and again what we can then do is we can then play around with voicings of this as well, give it some other effects as well.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know. When they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know. A sanctuary with no cover.
I like the sound of that.
When you're all alone, feel it.
And so that one, so it's the A with the harmonic of the C. Let's give it the fifth, which is the E. You can almost use the E as a second pedal tone. Okay. It may seem strange that we're focusing so much on chords, but there's going to be the fundamental. Like, if we don't get this sorted, then the rest of it doesn't work out.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know. When they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know. A sanctuary with no cover.
I think the only two chords that aren't working for me I would say add this chord and this chord with the vocals.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover.
I'm not fully convinced though. What I'm gonna do, just to flesh it out a bit more, let's add a bass. That will just help give some more grounding to the notes.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like. When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover. When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover. When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover. When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover.
Maybe that works better with the different voice here.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover. When you're.
How does bring it up to work? So I'll keep that as the pedal and I'll take these two up to there. This then becomes the same note as that, which was struggling a bit.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover.
I feel like it has to be a repeat. Like, I'd want it to be different because then we're not just repeating the same 4 bars, we're repeating 8 bars. But as of now, it's sounding like it's the same 4 bars.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover.
Add in the chords again.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover.
And what I actually will try and do, what if I put that down?
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover.
I'll leave it there for now. We can always play around with it some more. I want to do some potential more shaping of the sound.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover.
What I'll do is I'll take that an octave lower.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on.
What I could also do,
When you're all alone, feel.
try to remember how to do this. How do I do this? Oscillator B. How do I get oscillator B? to go through envelope 2. Unless it already is. No, it doesn't. I don't think it is. No, don't want to go into changing the actual note. Actually, I'll put that into filter 1 as well. When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Actually, you know what? I'll keep that as main. When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover. When you're... Okay. I'm happy with that. Let's get some basic drums in. So, actually, let me pop these in. I want to name this verse 1. My verse is always red. Drag this in, and that is my length. Don't know why they're extended, but we'll go with that for now. Drums. Now this is quite subtle for the drums for now. Let's at least find a drum sound that we like. I've been using the Garage kit quite a lot, so we'll give that a go. Let's put in a MIDI track, Garage kit. Now I like building it up bit by bit. I only hear a hi-hat in this phrase. Where's the hi-hat? Closed hi-hat. Okay, we definitely do not need it that frequently. So we only need it this frequently. Sounds okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take every other one. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to play with the velocity of that. Almost sounds like a potential snare. And it's syncopated as well because it's on the seconds, which also has a nice vibe to it. And then what I'll also do is I'll add some deviation. Though I'm not sure if I particularly like the full EQ, and I know that's on the one, so I'll get rid of that. Put this on hi-hat. Sanctuary with no cover. When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go. Do a really slow climb to 9,000. When you're all alone, feel it and you know, blind like on and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go. Let nobody know, a sanctuary with no cover. Okay, nice. That's sounding good for now. I say let's add in one very important friend, which is our crash. Now, this crash is actually... it's called Terrified. I'm terrified about how much I dislike it. So, let's pop it in. Pop it in for the length we have. Let's go in and edit it. So we don't need any EQing on the crash. Crash terrified. Let's extend it. We're gonna bring it back up. We're also gonna transpose it way more. I like that one the most. And then what we're actually gonna do with the EQ. Delete automation. We're gonna do go in and yes, we will EQ that. Okay. Add a bunch of stuff there and then let's get our own delay on there. You know what? Make it timed. No, I don't need slapbacks. Okay, if we do something like that, and then the final thing we're going to do, we're going to use an LFO tool, low frequency oscillator, and we're just going to use that to basically, yeah. With the reverb. Nice. Okay. So now, all together. Could probably improve that crash a bit more. Maybe add some more stuff to it as well. Let's go back to our samples. So we actually have a second voice. Voice 2.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know when they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know.
This is if we want to do doubles. Duplicate that. Grab this. Pop this here. What I'm going to do, slightly disalign them. And what we'll do is increase a little bit more as well.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know when they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know. A sanctuary with no cover.
This one is slightly out of time. Or is it being pitch shift? Is it like warping it by accident? Yes, I think so. That was also warped. Says that one's 113, says that one's 29. We want to warp them to be, I think, you know what, we'll do the pit, no, that's not oh. This version of Ableton isn't allowing me to pitch stretch with Control Shift, because usually you would click Control Shift, Control, and then Shift would allow you to pitch stretch that instead of just doing it normally. And I see that this is actually Doing something very different. Okay. Well, let's go back when both of these were like this. That one is fine. This one's slightly out. If I say that this is actually 130, does that line up nicely with that one? It does. There we go.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know. When they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know. A sanctuary with no cover.
Beautiful. This one is technically higher, so we actually need to go down and decrease this one.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know. When they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know. A sanctuary with no cover. When you're all alone, feel it and you know. When they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know. A sanctuary with no cover. When you're all alone, feel it and you know. When they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know. A sanctuary with no cover.
Lovely stuff. So they're going through the same processing, and we get that. Okay. And there's also a harmony layer. Let's hit this in and add in the harmony layer.
And you know, when they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, and you know, when they're gone and there's no other.
Now, a really easy way of like getting some doubles on something like a harmony is to add something like actually, we'll use a delay. Find another delay. Go into the delay. What you do is you add a delay. You set it to be timed. You set the feedback to be 0. You set the dry wet to be 100. You don't need the filtering. Pre-pitching is fine. You create a group, which gives you chains. So then you create a second one. So this will be the dry, and this will be the delayed. And so what then you can do is you can put them to like max, because this is going to cause a certain effect. On the dry, you get rid of your delay. On your delay, you keep it. And then you can play around with this to choose your phasing. So if you turn it out and we just listen to this,
There's no other.
you can hear some strange artifacting.
There's no other.
As if I turn this off.
There's no other.
Actually, it doesn't sound that different. But if we add in the delay and up this,
There's no other.
we're now getting a fuller sound.
There's no other. There's no other.
Yeah.
There's no other. There's no other.
Now, I don't know
There's no other.
about you, but the left sounds more piercing in my ear than the right.
There's no other. There's no other. There's no other. There's no other.
That sounds about even on my headphones, my ears. That's what I hear is even. So now, with everything,
When you're all alone, feel it and you know. When they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know. A sanctuary with no cover.
lovely stuff. That's where we're at now. So let's get into this some more. So I have the chorus. and then the verse 2s. I forget where these ones go. I think they may be a bridge. Let's, I mean, the harmonies. They're probably harmonies to the chorus. But let's use them as like a bridge style moving thing. I'm gonna pop them in here. Assign track clips to groups. They're all very loud, so let's pop them into their own unique group. Put them down. I also realized that there isn't actually the vocal processing that we would want on them, so let's go in and pop that on there. There's that one. There's that one. And that one. Oh, let's save this. I have already pre-saved it. 7, but we didn't reopen it. So I want to replace it. That is why this is also wrong, because I'd forgotten that I needed to change it. Okay, there we go. Now that should be nice and easy. Okay. Oh, these are long. Didn't realize how long these were. Let's just double check if these go with the choruses as well. So if I bring in these. No, those are just longer than normal. I know this is a lot. Bear with me. Put it in the wrong group. Take it out. Undo. Select these. All harm work together. Bridge. Done. Okay. Fine. That sounds good. What I may try and do is group these. Again, go up to the top level. We want to group all of these there. Grab these, group these. This is going to be verse 1. It's going to be box left, box right, box on. All of those down. I have all the same processing on these as well. So 12.8, 22.5. We can put that on there, and then we can remove it from all of those as well. Get rid of those as well. And then our final ones. Remove. And this is our chorus. There you go. And then I'll come back to this. Again, I need to put the vocal processing chain on them. Put that there. Put that there. I expect my Ableton to start trying to crash soon. If that happens, bear with me. Lovely stuff in That's still really loud.
Let nobody know.
I also want to move that.
With no cover.
This is the, okay, I want to rearrange these so they make more sense to me. I want the bass one on the bottom, mids, then highs. I want the bass in the middle. I'll put the harmonies mid, right, and then high left. Now, this is high 1, this is high 1, if I'm reading it correctly, box high 1, high 2. These two I'm going to put further left, and then let's go down to this one. This is going to be the low, so I'm actually going to put this at the bottom. We're going to keep the lows central just because I'm going off the principle of we want bass to be middle and we don't want like stereo bass. Can have stereo bass obviously, but we're going for more of a, like, we want the basses to be there. Now let's try and get these further right. So this will be further out that way, and that'll be further out that way as well. I'm going to mute the harmonies just so we can hear these. You know what I'll also do? I'll bring 2 of the harmonies in. So. They need a little bit of reverb. Nice. So, bring the harmonies back in. Let's see what that sounds like. Feels like too much at the moment with all of those. So I'm just gonna chop these back. So they are... They're going over the... Are they having the warping problem? Is that what we're getting into? Warp it to 130. That's what it should be exported to. Yeah. We're having a quick warp problem again. 130. Warp. 30. Maybe that'll actually work better with the choruses now. I'm going to leave them out for now. We can always bring them back in as more elements further in the track. That's kind of all of our vocals in place for now. And obviously go in and make the tweaks that we need to. Actually, we also need to add in the second verse. So let's do that. Pop that there. We're kind of just building structure, I would say is the best way to put it at this point in time. I'm going to bring that one down. I'm going to group these, not Control F, don't need that, Control G. I'm going to group these. It's going to be verse 2. We're going to want to go into all of these and do the processing that we need to. Get rid of that. Go in and get rid of that. Do a quick save. We want the same-ish reverb. 22, no, it was 12 on this. It was 22 on that. Again, we need to grab the processing, a little bit of noise on them. This will just help clean these up. I'll also increase these.
Feel it all around, hear it in the sound. Echoes always seem to haunt me. No one ever chose to do it on their own.
And what we're going to do is we're going to grab the same doubler that we had on our harmony down there for our harmony here. Let's pop this in. Grab this up here. We want to pop it there. We want to hope that it didn't go in. Yep, perfect. Did what we wanted it to do. And drag clips there. Okay, great. So now we're starting to build out this structure. So drag this around here. Grab this. Place that there. We got verse 2. Proper clip there. Like we got some. That would be why. That's where it needs to be. Loop that there. I did not check if we had warping problems with this either. That's the wrong screen. Warped 130, warped 130, warped 139. Put that back to 130. Nice. Alright. Good old test with the second verse is copying the same things you've already used and seeing if that works. Obviously, you go in and change it.
Feel it all around, hear it in the sound. Echoes always seem to haunt me. No one ever chose to do it on their own. Moving just to keep them busy. When you're all alone.
Perfect. Now the levels are, there's a discrepancy in the levels. We can fix that.
Moving just to keep them busy. When you're all alone, feel it and you know when they.
Also going to just quickly make sure that this is doing what it needs to do. I'm also going to boost that just a smidge, and our mid sides, I need to change my master out because I want to change this to be slightly further down this way as a default. It makes it better for when we mix into mono. I can give you an example here if I get another utility. So obviously we've got lots of width in our vocals. When we mono it, that's going to become even louder.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know when they're gone and there's no other.
It's always good to have a quick A/B test of your mono versus your stereo. All right, let's keep going. So we've got this kind of movement. Let's now work on the harmony, which I'm going to deem as my pre-build. I realize I need to color this bit. Been all over the place that I forgot to actually do my proper coloring scheme. This is all blue for some reason in my head. What I hear on this I know I've saved it somewhere. It will be one of these, but I've forgotten which one. Never mind, we will build it again. What I want to do, utility, and then an LFO. I need a LFO device. And then we map the gain to that. Obviously you can see that it's going pretty crazy. So we want the depth to be 50. And then the offset to be also 50. That's then giving us the modulation there. We then have a rate control here. You can also sync it to be time-based, but I actually like further hertz. We then group this. We get our, we want the macros. We then increase this. We then want to map our rate to macro 1. Means we can now create a really nice pulsing effect. Now what I will do, I'll add a macro onto the depth control as well, because then we can play around with that. But if I go into MIDI mapping for this, no, it's the wrong one. It's not key mapping. Edit MIDI mapping. This one. Why can't I edit that? There was a way where you could control these. No, edit map. I can't remember how to do it now. Anyway, that will kind of like flatline it. Hopefully nice and neatly. So, in use, this is what it sounds like. That's what we want, a nice little like. So yeah, let's do the automation for that. We can make it nice and smooth. Going up to there, going up to there. Maximum I want is kind of like that 14 mark. So. And now we have to build up chords once more. But I actually think I will build up bass this time. And what I'll also do is, you know what, I won't build up bass because I want to build up the chords in a slightly different way. So I'm going to affect what this is like. It's a nice sound. I'm going to put this to... Now I'll put this through the fill one. Perfect. Because now what I want to build up is something that moves a bit more. I want to make like that's a beat, that's a beat, that's a beat. That long. And then what I would do is I would do it at the 3 mark. I would do a reset. And then just duplicate that. So that. You go into this, and if you edit the sound a bit more, let's have the cutoff. Okay, I'm liking the sound of this. Now I'll use this in my standard way of building chords. That needs to be quicker as a, actually like the, it needs to be quicker. What if I did it as like that? Okay, liking the sound of it so far. Play around with some of these notes. I'm messing up the harmonies with that, aren't I? I've got to be careful with this because it will mess up the harmonies. Okay. Right. And then what I can do with this higher octave, shimmy it. Okay, that's sounding good. Let's pop that down. Pop that down. It's super high up in the octaves. Like that. Why is that not playing on the bass? Okay, what I'm now hearing is a snare. I forgot about it. Okay, yeah. Okay. This is currently what I'm thinking. This is currently what I'm thinking. Oh, and then if that worked nicely with the if that worked nicely with the chorus verses, that would be this could be shaping up to be quite the track. Okay, the last thing I want to get in here. Firstly, what I can do is I can go in here, configure. I want to configure the cutoff. Show automation. Boom, and then just have it like up there. Okay. Rename it automation. Oh, this is, okay. I'm looking forward to this. I am looking forward to this. Get some filtering effects in just to help with movement. Okay, we still need to work on those drums. We'll come back to those drums. Okay, I also need to come back to how I want to process these vocals. Maybe what I want to do is actually have these come in like that. Where's the second one? Where's this one? Let me not get sidetracked. Let me put in these effects first, and then we will get back to the vocals and that chorus. I'm going to use my classic just because I feel like it works in everything, which is my white noise sweep, wherever it is. Why can't I see it? Usually always there. White noise. Yeah, here we go. That's why I'm not using this one. Yeah, we'll just pop that in. We want to match that gap that we're doing there. Because I think that. And then we'll duplicate this. Pop this around here. We will reverse this one. Bring that back. So now, if we listen to these. Nice. Okay. Duplicate that track once more. We'll get a impact. The submarine impact, you know, like the bleeping of the submarine. Find something good. Yeah, let's try that. Just quick, sweet. Doesn't need to be anything crazy. Let's put a sidechain on the bass just to clean it up with the kick. Make it nice and smooth. The classic preset that I have. We want this to be kicks. Sounds about right. Okay. Save there. Alright, let's listen back to it. See what we've got so far. Okay, definitely needs the reverb on it. And then that would go into the second verse. Get a quick glimpse of what that sounded like.
Feel it all around, hear it in the sound. Echoes always seem to haunt me. No one ever chose to do it on their own, moving just to keep them busy. When you're all alone, feel sanctuary with no
I'd love to hear any feedback or thoughts that people are having about the track so far. I already have some myself. I'm liking the build. Like, this bit is working nicely. And I like that we're using a similar pattern. But again, maybe we need to change the voice. Because that doesn't feel as impactful. Like, this is good. That doesn't sound as impactful. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ava XX. Definitely has a dynamic dark vibe. It's probably more in the realms of electronic pop at this point than maybe more dance, which I was aiming for. But it's definitely something we can work with, especially like we could potentially work more with the chorus or the instrumentation. Let's try a different voice then. Instead of something a bit more sawtoothy, let's go in and try and build a custom sound for this section. Because that has quite a lot of reverb. You know what? I think we need that. Okay. I don't know where you got to. I crashed. So apparently one too many serums on things. OBS crashed. Ah well. It is what it is. It's also just came up. It's just gone 9, so I'll probably wrap up here for today. I think that makes most sense. Go back into full screen. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to wrap up there today. Oh, I realized I haven't came back. Oh, you can tell that I'm still not used to doing this. Go back to that one. Okay. We got our final track. Creating an extra one of these is what crashed us. But yeah, I will wrap up here. Let me go back into this one. Okay, I'll wrap up here. Thank you very much for joining us. We at least have the building blocks of a pretty decent track. It sounded pretty cool. There's definitely things we need to work on, things we need to improve upon. But we've been able to lay some good ground structure. Probably next week we'll have a look at doing some more work on this, trying to build it up, see how it goes. But until then, we'll listen to it on the way out. But thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for joining me on Making Music Monday. Hopefully you feel inspired to make some of your own music. And I've been Blue Wallace. Thank you very much. If you've missed anything, if you wanted any, if you came late and you're wondering what we were doing, we were using a sample pack trying to make a track. Always watch from the beginning. We've got several other Making Music Mondays where we've looked at creating some other tracks as well. But again, thank you very much for joining me today. I'll leave you on the track as we leave. And I will hopefully see you next Monday for our next one, where we'll probably continue working on this and hopefully have a finished track by then. All the best.
When you're all alone, feel it and you know, when they're gone and there's no other. Tiptoe as you go, let nobody know, a sanctuary with no sound. Echoes always seem to haunt me. No one ever chose to do it on their own, moving just to keep them busy.